What's up? How's she going?
This week on iTunes, there's no Hallmark card for this. It's a combo Valentine's Day, Islander Day celebration in music, including songs from the Ellis Family Band and Gordon Belsher, plus a chat with Sandy MacQuarrie, who got the century of island ambulance history down to 4 minutes. Yous ready, PEI? Let's get her done! How's she going, Prince Edward Island? I am your host, Adam Michael James, and you are listening to the February 13th, 2026 episode of the Music PEI Award nominated isletunes. Yeah, so Valentine's Day. Y'all ever wonder how we happen to do stuff with red hearts, chocolates, and flowers every year? No? Too bad, I'm going to tell you anyway. It apparently all started with Saint Valentine, a church leader in Rome in the 3rd century. In 270, he got his head chopped off because he refused to worship current Emperor Claudius II instead of Jesus. Hey, don't give Herr Pumpkinführer any ideas. February 14th was chosen as a feast day in 496 to commemorate Valentine's willingness to die for the Christian cause. How did any of that get connected to candy hearts? It had been said that Valentine performed secret weddings under Claudius's nose, but the real link to lovey-dovey whatnot started in 1382 when English writer and poet Geoffrey Chaucer wrote a big long poem about birds choosing their mates on February 14th, which got equated with human love, and that's why we're now all expected to buy stuff for sweethearts on that day. Thanks a lot, Chaucy! For the record, the first known Valentine greeting was sent in 1415, and folks were exchanging tokens of affection on said day in the UK by the 17th century. Of course, the whole thing blew up in the 19th century when a little greeting card company ultimately called Hallmark entered the chat by having the ability to mass-produce greeting cards. Now you know what's up with all that. Don't say you can't learn stuff on this show. But I want to talk about Valentine's Day shrinkflation. I went to buy a heart-shaped box of chocolates for myself, and only the cover was heart-shaped. The box behind it was way smaller.
You owe me restitution!
That was from a Halloween peanut special, but go with it. As promised, I'm gonna fill your ears with love songs and love songs to the island, but first I'm afraid I have some sad news to report. The PEI music scene and PEI as a whole has lost Allan Rankin, who passed away February 8th at the age of 76. Allan studied at St. Dunstan's University and was mentored by island legend Jean McClellan. He became a historian and museum curator, and he also wrote for the Eastern Graphic. He performed with the Troubadours from 1970 to 1971, and over the years he was part of several local bands, including Crowbush and Hedgerow. He'd play festivals, concerts, and fundraisers, and he's on a recording from the 1982 Island Fiddle Festival, which didn't come out until 1985, but what do I know. In 1996, Allan released his debut album New Branches, and he'd said that he was most inspired by family and community life. One reviewer noted that Allan was the heart of Prince Edward Island, which seems most appropriate given the theme of this episode. There will be a story and song remembrance event for Allan on February 22nd at 3 p.m. over at the Cimbria Lions Club in South Rustico. In lieu of flowers, the family has asked that donations be sent to the QEH Foundation to help them pay for dialysis equipment. The title track of Allan's follow-up album from 2012 almost comes off as prescient now. Here's a tribute to him from iTunes via his song Lost No More. Allan Rankin, everybody.
We left Mount Pleasant on that August day to shoot at targets on the Sandhill Range. The chief instructor had us in his sights. We would practice hard until we got it right. My navigator was Henry Brown. He had a cousin down in Charlottetown. All the women said his looks could kill, but dead reckoning was not his greatest skill. Oh, the wartime machinery was turning. Forever England would be free. I was caught up in that great adventure between the blue sky and a darker sea. In the morning haze we lost our way, flying low over Malpec Bay. When the Harvard broke through the clouds, we were barely 50 feet above the ground. She was standing on a bale of hay. Looking down, I caught her girlish wave. I recognized that farm at Darnley shore, and I knew that we were lost no more. Oh, the wartime machinery was turning. Forever England would be free. And I was caught up in that great adventure between the blue sky and a darker sea. We packed our kit bags when the orders came to fly the Spitfire and the Hurricane. And from that aerodrome at Biggin Hill, we'd go up to meet the mighty German will. Oh, the wartime machinery was turning. Forever England would be free. And I was caught up in that great adventure between the blue sky and a darker sea. She said, remember that I love you when you were far from me, climbing through the darkness high above a northern sea. When the homeward beacon disappears beneath the engine's roar, close your eyes and you'll be lost no more. An ocean of time has come and gone since I last called this island home. All my children have taken wing, and loneliness is now the hardest thing. Can love take flight a second time? Is it too late for her heart and mine? This girl who guided me so long ago, now that I'm here, I won't let her go. Oh, the wartime machinery was turning. Forever England would be free. And I was caught up in that great adventure between the blue sky and a darker sea. Between the blue sky and a darker sea.
How do I say goodbye when I barely even said hello? In the river deep and wide, where does one young heart forever go? You taught me everything I'll ever need. You taught me how to be strong. Now as I face the world alone, I know that I could do it all alone. I'll build a bridge to the other side to get us both across the deepest, wildest sea. I'll build a bridge to our magic place where kings and queens kings and princes aren't just fairy tale. And I'll find a way to take you with me wherever I may go. But we both know that it's time to carry on. Just a strange and quiet guy, till you came and let me see the real you. I'm glad you weren't so shy, even though they all misunderstood you too. I can't accept that you have left me now, but I can't ignore the bitter pain. Though I shed these mournful tears, I know that someday we will meet again. I'll build a bridge to the other side to get us both across the deepest, wildest sea. I'll build a bridge to our magic place, where kings and queens and princes aren't just fairy tale. And I'll find a way to take you with me wherever I may go. But we both know that it's time to carry on. We'll build a bridge to the other side to get us both across the deepest, wildest sea. We'll build a bridge to our magic place, where kings and queens and princes aren't just fairy tale. And I'll find a way to take you with me wherever I may go. But we both know that it's time to carry on. Yes, I'll find a way to take you with me wherever I may go. But we both know that it's time to carry on.
Aaron Hastelow on iTunes with a cut from his self-titled album of 2017. That was Bridge, which was written by John Matthews, who produced and played on the CD. Aaron had always wanted to play Anne of Green Gables' Boo Gilbert Blythe, and when he was 8, he started as one of the kids of Avonlea in the aforementioned musical at the Confed Center. Full disclosure, Aaron read the part of Gilbert in a 2007 workshop of the musical I co-wrote, The 9 Lives of Ella Montgomery, but in 2016, Aaron got to play Mr. Blythe for real, becoming the first Islander to do so, though I don't know why it took 52 years for that to happen. Anyway, Aaron has been in the hospital since January 30th with an ailment they're still trying to diagnose. He's been through a battery of tests, but he's still in good spirits. It's just that he can't perform or run his graphic and motion design company while waylaid in a hospital bed. A GoFundMe crowdfunding campaign has been set up for him. It's almost hit its goal of $40,000, but if you can help out, I know Aaron and his family would appreciate it greatly. Go to www.gofundme.com/f/help-Aaron-Hastelow, and please give what you can. And Aaron, like your song, I know you're going to get across that bridge to the other side of this. Hang tough, my dude. Let's turn now to that musical observation of Valentine's Day I was talking about. When Ethel Ellis formed a band with her husband Russell and kids Brian and Rick back in 1970, I'm sure she had no idea that path would lead all the way to Nashville, but it did. Like most bands, they went through roster changes, including Ethel stepping back from vocals and sons Steve, Greg, and Dave stepping up, landing on a lineup that stuck by 1978 and making rehearsals a family event every Monday and Wednesday. The early 80s saw the Ellis Family Band playing a songwriting competition run by a Moncton radio station. Not only did they place second, they caught the attention of a producer who had ties to Nashville, and yeehaw! Y'all know what happened next. Indeed, they got that recording contract in country music's epicenter, which led to 3 albums and no less than 21 singles ranking in Canada's top 50 charts. In 1988, the Ellises were offered an international contract, but they said no. Not many acts would turn down an opportunity like that at the height of their fame, but they decided that raising their kids was more important than being on globe-hopping tours, and you can't blame them for that. Ethel's legacy lives on, however, and do you think she and the others wrote songs that would be a good fit for Valentine's Day? Well, sure shooting they did. From the Ellis Family Band's 1983 debut album, Easy to Love, this is Bet Your Boots I Love You, which is better than a greeting card, especially when it comes from Isletunes.
Bet your boots I love you, cross my heart I do. Loving you is special, that's all I want to do. When you're dressed in blue jeans, you look oh so neat. With fancy shirt and fry boots, your outfit is complete. Bet your boots I love you, cross my heart I do. Don't you know I'm falling deep in love with you. Don't matter about the others, saying love is for the birds. I know ours is special, can't put our love in words. Ever since I met you, you swept me off my feet. Can't even sleep or eat now, the need for you so great. Bet your boots I love you, cross my heart I do. Don't you know I'm falling deep in love with you. Bet your boots I love you, cross my heart I do. Don't you know I'm falling deep in love with you. My arms, fire within this body, keep the whole world warm. So please don't ever leave me, my world's wrapped up in you. I guess everybody knows it, but I wonder if you do. Bet your boots I love you, cross my heart I do. Don't you know I'm falling deep in love with you. Bet your boots I love you, cross my heart I do. Don't you know I'm falling deep in love with you.
The Ellis Family Band shining up them boots, 'cause bet your boots I love you. They're Valentine to you, courtesy of Isletunes. Coming up, an arsenal of 70s, 80s vibes, doing Islander Day en français, and first responder Sandy MacQuarrie makes his first song. Every day is Islander Day when you think about it, because clearly stuff happens here every day. Most of it has to do with our individual lives, so of course it's not going to end up in the media, but some events ranked on the more public side and became a part of our chronological fabric. And this is getting terribly philosophical, so how about we just break down some Valentine's and Islander Day appropriate moments in This Week in PEI History. The earliest mention of Valentine's Day that I could find in a PEI paper, at least through what's available on islandnewspapers.ca, actually came via the January 19th, 1850 edition of the Daily Examiner. This tracks with the first national mention of V-Day that was printed in an Ottawa paper in 1848. But the Examiner wasn't running ads for chocolates and flowers. The reference happened in a portion of the fictional work Brown's Day with the Mimpsons by N.P. Willis.
What you talking about, Willis?
The quote in question was, "When he did arrive in London at last, it was with a budget like the postman's on Valentine's Day, and he had only to deliver one letter and a score to be put on velvet in any street or square within the bills of mortality." not exactly gonna make you swoon, but at least we know V-Day existed already back then. Running across the masthead was the phrase, "This is true liberty, when freeborn men, having to advise the public, may speak free." Just because we need the reminder about free speech right now, and not that everyone shouldn't have been born free men then, just saying. The next reference I saw came from the Weekly Examiner, printed on February 11th, 1881, which let Islanders know that all Valentine senders and receivers were to gather at Market Hall, which was in Queen's Square. That's where Province House had already been standing for 3 decades. I kinda need a 19th to 21st century dictionary to get the nitty-gritty of what the notice talked about, but the gist is that really useful articles priced at no fictitious value would be available for sale on a Valentine table, not to be confused with the fancy table, which was hyped to be well supplied with articles of taste and utility. Not hard to understand is the part about there being dinner, refreshment, and a tea table, in addition to a flower show, music, and other attractions. They really did Valentine's Day up in 1881. February 15th, 2010. Islander Day was first celebrated on PEI, well, on the third Monday of February, like it is now anyway. Its real debut happened the year before, on February 9th, 2009, except people kicked up dust about the second Monday of February causing business to suffer by not aligning with like holidays in other provinces and President's Day in the US, though I don't think we have a reason to mark that one for a few more years yet. It was then Legislative Assembly member Gerard Greenan who got Islander Day bumped a week to where it is now. Do we also have him to thank for all the stores being closed that Monday? Am I the only one who finds that inconvenient? Yes? Oh well.
Hi, this is Keegan Bernard, and you're listening to isletunes.
This is our Mi'kmaq love song.
None other than the Mi'kmaq Heritage Actors on isletunes with the holiday-appropriate Mi'kmaq love song. Before they committed some of their songs to recorded media, which is available at the Indigenous PEI store last time I checked, and also on Apple Music, these performers, who first got together in 2011 and remained the only Indigenous theater group in Atlantic Canada, put their multimedia show in front of local audiences and also spectators as far away as Toronto and Dieppe, the one in France, not the one outside of Moncton. It's been the troupe's mission to highlight Mi'kmaq history, stories, culture, and language, and they even offer cultural workshops to help people further learn about those who got to PEI first. Show an Epiquet some love. Yeah, and you know, the whole hearts and flowers thing on Valentine's Day can also be a great big pain in the ass. Not everyone has someone to share it with, and some are dealing with breakups during it, prompting those in said situations to just want to fire up a big middle finger at the whole thing. But you'll be alright. And if I didn't know that from personal experience, I at least learned it from this next song. Brad Milligan is quite the dude on the tribute concert circuit here now, but before that he led the Brad Milligan Band. Only problem was when Griffin Arsenault showed up and became an equal contributor of material, Brad didn't think it right to keep sticking just his name on everything, and in 2020 the group became Arsenal Mills, along with members Josh McNeil and Andre Outerland. They became known for their new wavy R&B blues style that harkened back to the 70s and 80s, even opening up for major acts like Kim Mitchell, The Glorious Sons, and Winter Sleep. To lead off their debut EP, Brad leaned on the true story of a friend who had just come out of a 5-year relationship, deciding to set it against Griffin's more upbeat composition just because he liked the contrast. So to help out the Valentine list, isletunes brings you Lovesick and Broke, the title track from the 2021 effort of Arsenal Mills. It ain't General Mills, the cereal maker, but it tastes just as good.
It's just my quirk to wish you would have stayed, but I want to, baby, make you understand. I said, oh, mama, I'm done being that man, and I'll be okay without you. I'm all lovesick and broke, and there's nothing I can do. I'm not the only one. Yeah, it's time to face the truth. Baby, I'll be okay without you. Now my love, ooh. But I had a drink again, even though I said, hey, that don't bother me. In my total view, it isn't only you. Freedom's all I see. But I want to, I need to make you understand. I said, whoa, mama, the best's never worth the hand. I'll be okay without you. I'm still lovesick and broke, and there's nothing I can do, 'cause I'm not the only one. Yeah, that's nothing new. I'll be okay without you, my love. Guess it's time to take a stand. Whoa, man. I'll be okay without you, my love, my love. I'll be okay without you. I'll be okay without you. So goodbye, my love. Goodbye, my love. Goodbye. I was born in the 70s. I caught the end of the dreamer's days. I've got all of these memories, but it feels like yesterday. I see it in photographs, a slideshow on the walls of my brain. I'm grateful for the life I have, whatever time still remains. I was a kid in the 80s. I wore a red Thriller jacket to school. I had a silver boombox, corduroy pants and cassettes were cool. License to Ill blew my mind. My dad let me listen to it in his truck. I got the Joshua Tree and Mother's Milk with birthday money that my grandma sent. I am bound by love. I don't want it any other way. Baby, I can't get enough. I don't know any different. I was a punk teen in the 90s in a band called Adams rings and a ring in my nose. I smoked pot and drank mushroom tea. We used to play the apothecaries, Charlottetown on a Monday night. Permission from the liquor commission. Tuesday morning, barely cracked my eyes. I am bound by love. I don't want it any other way. Baby, I can't get enough. I don't know any different. Finished school and I moved away. I was in a different band. We took our name from a Shakespeare play. It fell apart in the end. I stuck around for a few more years, dragging myself from job to job. I ran out of money and I had to leave. Hit the coast and I met a girl. Now I'm bound by love. I don't want it any other way. Baby, I can't get enough. I don't know any different. 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 I have dreams in a different light. I'm not looking for the cheaper thrills. I see the future through my daughter's eyes, and it gives me chills. I'll do anything for love, but not like that stupid meatloaf song. Real love that keeps on humming and never stops even after you're gone. I am bound by love. I wouldn't want it any other way. Baby, I can't get enough. I don't know any different. I know happiness is fleeting. I know we all have haunted hearts. I see it and I hear it. Graceland in my mother's car, driving around, tapping her thumbs, keeping the beat on the steering wheel. I know who I am and I know it's because things like this don't disappear.
Longtime songwriter Dennis Ellsworth on iTunes, proving that it's not just through romance that we're bound by love. Fun fact, that's actually the title track of his most recently released album BBL, which came out January 9th. But the song also featured on previous recordings of his. This version comes from his 2021 collection, The Grass is Greener on the Other Side. I'm getting Taylor Swift vibes from Dennis recording and re-recording tracks, aren't you? Dennis began his eras by filling up notebooks with lyrics in high school when he was supposed to be working. Been there, done that. But it wasn't until he was living in Edmonton in 1996 that he bought a 4-track recorder and started laying down his stuff. Between his stints in Toronto and back in PEI, he performed in the bands The Rude Mechanicals, The Little Pilgrims, Battery Point, and the one you probably know much better, Haunted Hearts. Dennis went solo in 2011 and has since racked up 10 albums and 2 EPs. Not bad for a guy who started collecting cassettes in grade 6, am I right? One day I'll have to get together with him and compare my own stash. All right, we did VD. I mean Valentine's Day. Let's move on to Islander Day and some love stuff for the island, starting with this lady who started in theater and ended up in Dollywood. PEI edition anyway. Jessica Gallant was actually the Anne to Aaron Hastellow's Gilbert, anning out in 9 seasons of the Confed Center show, and being only the second Islander to play Miss Shirley while she was at it. This led to theatrical runs in Toronto and Halifax, but what a splash she made when she came home and created her own show, Becoming Dolly, literally filling up Dolly Parton's sizable shoes and inhabiting the beloved backwoods Barbie the past several years. Living large like Dolly, Jessica made her directorial debut last year with an original short film, and Dolly would love that Jessica put out her own makeup line. Hint, Jessica, get Dolly to endorse it. You know she would. Where iTunes is concerned, we turn toward Jessica's self-titled EP from 2016, which racked up 3, count them 3, Music PEI Award nominations. Here's a cut from it, which is only right to play in honor of Islander Day. This is Jessica Gallant with Red Dirt Road.
Looking past Won't I go digging for some gold on this red dirt road, this red dirt road? To my left, could I forget the day that Katie took those first 2 steps, holding my own 2 hands? And out beyond the forest trees and leaves is where we buried memories of our old cats and dogs, just down the road. And where could I find cigarettes at tea time? Hear Johnny Cash on the stereo, with generations hanging around and painting the town of COA1TO. Pumpkin pie and just getting by on that old red dirt road. Goldilocks, dirty socks, Kool-Aid stains on rugs and the white couch. But then you blink, you never think that graduation would creep up on you, and how the tears would flow on this red dirt road. And how could I pretend on Sunday mornings I don't miss weather warning deja vu? Sisters, mothers, fathers, cousins, brothers, all crammed for dinner in one room. Growing old, solid gold on that old red dirt road. And where could I find cigarettes at tea time? Hear Johnny Cash on the stereo. Sisters, mothers, fathers, cousins, brothers, they all come and then they go. Growing old, solid gold on that old red dirt road.
Red Dirt Road, traveled upon by Jessica Gallant on isletunes. Did you know that she was awarded the King Charles III Coronation Medal of Honor in 2025? Now you do. Still to come, going to PEI with Panu. Gordon Belsher tells you a little about yourself, and Sandy MacQuarrie teaches you about 100 years of island ambulance service through written word and song. We haven't exactly been snowed in, but I'm sure this far into winter, a lot of yous are coming down with cabin fever. I bet you that could be cured with some live shows. So let me tell you where you can kick the snow off your boots and take off your coat to feel better in Gigs to Dig across Prince Edward Island. Valentine's Day, it's a triptych of treats for you. First, Amanda Jackson with Route 225. Valentine's show is at Trailside Music Hall. Also, Valentine's Day dinner and show featuring Catherine McClellan and Lucy Farrell at Copper Bottom Brewing in Montague. And rounding out Valentine's Day, it's We Three and former members of the Blue Crystals at Jack Blanchard Hall in Charlottetown. February 15th, it's the Valentine's Sunday brunch featuring Lawrence Maxwell, Kelly Mooney, and Route 225 at the Florence Simmons Performance Hall. Later on the 15th at Florence Simmons Performance Hall, it's the Island Jubilee Old Time Radio Music Show featuring Tara McLean, Julian Kitson, and Ellie and Brooklyn McKinnon. February 20th, it's Ledwell and Haynes as part of the Winter Shine series at Scott McCauley Performing Arts Center in Summerside. February 21st, it's Caban Fever featuring Vishten Makin, Jean-François Berthiaume, and Louis-Simon Lemieux at the MAC. February 26th, it's Island Jazz Groove Company at Baba's Lounge. Also on the 26th, a night of songs and stories featuring Shane Pendergast, Amelia May, and Liam Corcoran. That's all happening at the Trailside. Also on the 26th, it's Saltwater Dollies, Remy Arsenault, and Caroline and Family, also as part of the Winter Shine series at Scott McCauley Performing Arts Center in Summerside. February 27th, you've got Jimmy Rankin's Kitchen Party featuring Catherine McClellan and JP Cormier. That's happening at the Harborfront in Summerside. At Baba's Lounge on February 27th, you've got Dennis Ellsworth. February 28th, it's Music PEI Week, Battle of the Bands with Spacebud, Kratom, Dear Blossom, Sundown, Her Travesty, The Driftways, and Lillian. That's all happening at the Guild. And on the 28th at the Trailside, the Sush is in town. Don't forget, Baba's Lounge holds an open mic night every Wednesday at 9 p.m., hosted by the one and only Kinley.
Bonjour tout le monde, c'est Patricia Richard de Sirène et Matelot et vous êtes à l'écoute de isletunes.
Province au bassin nous recevoir. Nouveau-Brunswick, Nouvelle-Écosse nous ont raconté toute leur histoire. Terre-Neuve nous a démontré la chaleur des habitants et on n'était pas encore contents. Car notre cité nous attend. On s'en va à l'île du Prince-Édouard. On s'en va au pays du soleil. On s'en va à l'île du Prince-Édouard, où tout ce que l'on voit est d'une beauté sans pareil. C'est pour qu'on n'apprécie pas le reste du Canada, mais on n'a rien vu encore qui pouvait se comparer. De marcher avec ses amis sur une plage de sable blanc, ou pêcher des coquilles avec une bille. Oui, on veut toujours s'en aller. On s'en va à l'île Prince-Édouard. On s'en va au pays du soleil. On s'en va à l'île Prince-Édouard, où tout ce que l'on voit est d'une beauté
partying Panu style with On s'en va à Ypres. Of course, we're going to Prince Edward Island, which just happens to be the place that Isletunes is all about. The combo of Patricia Richard, Marcel Cassis, Wayne Robichaud, Chris Gallant, and Arsenault's Kathy, Michelle, and Paulette were thought of as a folk group, but hello, these guys could pop out with the best of them, adding 80s synths and singing about breakdancing. Bet you didn't know Panu performed at the 1985 Canada Games in St. John's. The previous year, they released their debut album. What you just heard came from their 1987 follow-up, Justice et Vérité, although the track has the distinction of appearing on both records, just different versions. Members of Panu got back together in 2014 for that year's National Acadian Day and shared a stage with Vistend and also New Brunswick outfit 1755. My ambition is to keep making music every day for the rest of my life. Between his solo and group work, plus recording some 120 albums for other artists at his famed Guernsey Cove studios, I think Gordon Belsher is easily keeping to his mission statement. The Saskatchewan native may have simply been content to continue the accordion lessons he was taking from age 7 to 12, but then a little thing called the Beatles happened, and faster than you could say Love, Love Me Do, Gordon formed the group A Little Bit of Heat, which only ended up opening for The Who in 1968. Always playing in a band somewhere, Gordon got hooked on PEI when he came for his first visit in 1974, and 4 years later he had moved into his Kings County house, and his studio came not long after that. It's no wonder he holds a Lifetime Achievement Award from what we now know as Music PEI. I know some of y'all will never even consider Gordon an Islander, despite him being here close to 5 decades, but to me, that's cow patties, the kind you can find on any number of island farms. In fact, Gordon Belsher laid down a track about islanders on his 2006 album Call Up All the Neighbors, titled, what do you know, Islanders. It's here for you on Isletunes, where it's always Islander Day.
We are vagabond minstrels, seekers of fame. We have sailed round the world, and we have come back again. We have taken our bows, basked in the glory, and made our way home from the sea. Islanders, islanders, right to the bone. How can we wander so far from our home? With our true love beside us, we are kissed by the sea. Islanders, we'll always be. Like an ancient old fortress, she hangs in the mist. She's the fairest of homelands that's ever been kissed. She's the soul of a poet and the heart of a sailor, and she's calling for you and for me. Islanders, islanders, right to the bone. How can we wander so far from our home? With our true love beside us, we are kissed by the sea. Islanders, we'll always be. Now sometimes the wind, like the wail of a banshee, a howling nor'easter, she'll pound at your door. Safe is the harbor, free is the anchor, I'll never go sailing no more. At least not too far from the shore. Islanders, islanders, right to the bone. How can we wander so far from our home? With our true love beside us, we are kissed by the sea. Islanders, we'll always be. Islanders, islanders, right to the bow. How can we wander so far from our home? With our true love beside us, we are kissed by the sea. Islanders, we'll always be. Oh, islanders, islanders, right to the bone. How can we wander so far from our home? With our true love beside us, we are kissed by the sea. Islanders, we'll always be. True islanders, we'll always be.
Gordon Belsher singing about Islanders on IsleTunes. If he's not an Islander for knowing he wanted to move here 15 minutes after he got here, then I don't know who is. We take emergency services for granted a bit, don't we? Hit 3 digits on your phone and someone in a van with flashing lights comes and gives you aid before taking you to the hospital to get more aid. It wasn't always that simple, and Sandy MacQuarrie should know. He became a first responder in the 90s and became very interested in the history of ambulance services on the island, so much so that he wrote a book about it, and from another island. You may know it. I think it's called Australia. I had a chance to bridge the 14-hour time difference between our Iron Coast and the Gold Coast of that we define as Down Under to talk to Sandy about his book Answering the Call, which documents the very beginnings of mobile medics on the island, back when horses were still involved. And in a bit of clever tying in, a song was recorded to go with it. The book, not the horses. Here's Sandy MacQuarrie, the subject of a most fascinating IsleTunes interview. From horse-drawn carriages that provided medical assistance to those in need to the high-tech transports we have now, we've always relied on ambulance services to come to our aid when our health and very lives have been at risk. That's never been any different here on PEI, where trained professionals and volunteers have answered the call for decades and decades, and it's easy to forget that these first responders are people too, and not just cogs in a well-oiled machine. Former island paramedic Sandy MacQuarrie has co-authored a new book, Answering the Call, The People and Stories of PEI Ambulance Services 1905 to 2005, which covers a century of local progress in the profession and the tales of the folks in it. And if you're wondering what an author is doing on a music show, surprise, a song has been recorded as a tie-in to the book. This seemed like a very apt subject to get into ahead of Islander Day, so here in the IsleTunes studios, otherwise known as my basement, thanks to the magic of Zoom, connecting us all the way to the Gold Coast of Australia, I introduce y'all to author and songwriter Sandy MacQuarrie. I think this is where I'm supposed to say g'day, but that seems egregiously stereotypical.
It is. Thanks for having me on the show.
Let's go back to the beginning. You were a paramedic here on PEI and elsewhere in the 90s. Are you from the island originally? From where and what you started in becoming a first responder?
Yeah, so I am from Prince Edward Island originally. So I have a friend who'll be listening to this and he'll say, you weren't born on PEI, and I wasn't.
Oh, one of those.
He was in Dalhousie University for a couple of years, and I came along at that time. But the rest of my time, I was from there. So he came back to PEI, settled on a farm in New Dominion, and I grew up there and was drawn eventually towards emergency services. First through the fire department. After college graduation, came back and joined the Crapo Fire Department. Lived in a little village called South Melville, and there was 4 paramedics in that fire department. I caught the bug right there. Lived in PEI the whole time except for the beginning. Wanted to become a paramedic, and fast forward to about 2001, I lit out for a job in Ottawa on a helicopter as a flight paramedic and never came back.
Oh.
No, and here I am in Australia, 25 years later. I've come close to coming back, but I maintain very close ties. I come home every year. My kids are around there and grandchildren, and there's always a reason to come back.
Now, this may be straying off the topic a bit, but what was it that brought you to Australia? Talk about going from one island to a much bigger island.
Well, that's true. Masquerading as a continent.
Exactly.
The draw was I had a very rich and rewarding career as a paramedic manager, senior manager, clinician. And about 2011, my friend Joe Acker called me up and said, would you like to come to Australia and teach paramedics in university, which is one of the very few places in the world you have to go to university to be a paramedic. And I said, well, that's not on my paramedic bingo card, so sure. They offered me the ability to do a PhD, so I did. And ended up staying and eventually kind of re-upping as a paramedic, and I continue to work as a paramedic over here.
Now, before we can get into the song, we do have to get into the book. What led you to writing it, and what made you focus specifically on the period of 1905 to 2005?
Yeah, so it started out, it wasn't going to be that big. It was going to be, I started kind of searching the internet for my time. So I graduated early 1993 from Holland College as EMT level 1 and started working immediately for Royal Ambulance in Summerside. and then moved to Neil's ambulance in Charlottetown, Neil and Gail McDonald and family. And then did a little bit of time at Kings County EMS, and then kind of left in 2001. But I couldn't find things about my time through the 90s. When you Google paramedic on PEI, it's almost guaranteed to be 100% Island EMS, which is great. But they came along in 2005, 6 actually. And I started thinking, well, I want to write the story of what it was like to work back then. A person I met along the way, Jody Swan, whose dad was a paramedic in the 60s in Charlottetown, handed me a picture of the first ambulance in Charlottetown and probably PEI in 1905. So then I thought, all right, I'm going to the archives and I'm wondering if I can tie the two together, the first one and the last one, the last kind of family-owned, operated, not Island EMS. And that was the genesis for the book. And that was 2.5 years of work to put that together. And what was interesting was from almost its inception, I mean, you see, that's an ambulance. It's almost always been tied up until at least the 70s on PEI with funeral homes. If you called a phone number looking for an ambulance, it would almost entirely run into a funeral home somewhere on PEI. Ambulance services began with hearses because they were able to move someone horizontally.
Exactly.
And then they said, well, we're always here, so we can come get you. And then they thought, well, we better get something better than a hearse. And that was the introduction of rudimentary cars, modified, and then station wagons, and then purpose-built vans introduced to PEI only in about 1972 was the first purpose-built ambulance. You know, it wasn't any further ahead or behind than other areas in Canada and probably some areas of the U.S. And by the early 70s, change was coming, regulations were coming, and these entrepreneurs, they said, yeah, let's make a living running ambulance calls. So all of that's in the book, and all the kind of the archival material that we could find, the pictures of the old ambulances, the stories. And as I was doing the book, along with my co-author Sylvia Poirier, who
I was going to ask you about her.
Yeah, sadly passed away very suddenly late last year. All the way along, I thought, I want to write a song about this. I want to have people hear it rather than see it. And even if they don't want to get the book, they can hear a 4-minute and 12-second version of literally 100 years of answering the call. We answered the call. And that was the genesis moving me towards it.
I'm speaking with author and songwriter Sandy MacQuarrie here on iLetunes. Of course, we are getting into the music now. And I'm particularly interested in that because I love a good tie-in. And you have said, at least in our communications before this, that you're not musically inclined, which makes it even more fascinating. And then I understand, too, that you're responsible for the lyrics and a vocal cameo, but that you also teamed up with a musician there at the Gold Coast. And this, I got to know more about this.
Yeah, so I've been taking guitar lessons as an adult, kind of post-COVID onwards, and I can play campfire songs, and I thought, I wonder if I could make my own song. On the Gold Coast, once every 2 years, they have an event called For Those Who Rock, and they'll go to budding guitarists and singers and say, we're going to train you over the next 6 weeks, and we're going to put on a show. They'll recruit, I'm going to say, rock icons of Australia to front the group. And I did that in 2024. So that was the impetus to say, I can write a song about all the feelings that I'm having as I'm writing the book. There was a house band at this little event, and one of the guitarists' name was Hayden Andrews. Now, Hayden offers songwriting school, and he's a local musician of renown. He is a local songwriter. He's just iconic. Very friendly, very approachable. So when I finished the book and I said to him, I really want to get a song. So we arrived at his songwriting workshop one-on-one. I think it was about a 6-week period it took us to write it. It took all the elements of the book and showed up. Like, I'm a big part of that book. Like, it's me. I knew I wanted it to be chronologic. I knew I kind of wanted to make somehow some references to the beginning, kind of at the middle years where it was all kind of funeral home, and then how advanced it got by the late 90s, early 2000s. And the last part of it would be how we all reflect on what it was like to be an ambulance driver, an ambulance attendant, a paramedic, a dispatcher, an owner, owner's family, that they are acknowledged for that 100 years that it took of them evolving to get to the point where they could hand it over to a single service, and as they should have. It was ready, and that was the song. That was the impetus for the song.
That's very cool. And now we can say that you are musically inclined. So do you think that this is going to lead you now to recording more music?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm sensing that this is coming. Yeah, that's good. And now, to be clear, Hayden did the vocals on this?
Hayden did the vocals. We went back and forth on that. When you hear him sing, you'll understand why. Trained many albums to his credit, knows what he's doing, and I have one verse that I'm quite involved with. There may be another version of this song where I'll sing it or sing in the background.
There's nothing wrong with a reissue, like Sandy's version.
Yeah. 10 years later, we need to do a music video, I guess, at some point, don't we?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
It's just incredible how you not only documented a century worth of ambulance services and how it progressed, but crafting this song to go along with it. It would be cool if you did end up making a visit back here to do a live performance, although you probably have trouble making the transition from an Australian summer to the winter we're having right about now.
Yeah, I think the plan was always with Sylvia and I. We had this all planned out that I was going to come back next September. Well, this September. We'd have a big party. We'd invite everybody that was in the book and anybody that wanted to come, and we park some old ambulances out front. Anyway, that part hasn't happened yet. There might be something.
You could still do it in tribute.
I know, but it'll be not in the middle of winter. I do not miss winter.
Sandy, I want to thank you so much for having this chat with me about your book and your song. And I understand that you're a bit of an isletunes fan, so I want to express my gratitude that you've been listening in on the regular. Thank you.
It is really good. And where else am I going to get my haywire fix? It's not just the songs, it's the commentary. It's very funny.
I will have some Tim Tams in your honor.
So
look it up, Isletuners. You gotta look it up. It's at Sobeys, okay? And that's kind of a cheat, but still. Now, from the page to people's ears, the story of PEI's emergency medical services and how they developed over 100 years, which is a perfect way to round out this celebration of Islander Day. This is a creation of Sandy MacQuarrie with an assist from Australian musician Hayden Andrews, or Hayden Go Seek, I think he's called.
It is. That's his business. Yeah.
Let's see. I did a little research on that. Whichever name you prefer, Sandy is here, and the song is We Answered the Call. It's here on isletunes. Sandy, thanks again for answering my call.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I loved it.
A cry for help was calling out our name. Lantern in the window lit the way. Traveling past waves lapping at island shores. With a hitch in our breath, slowly pushed open the door. We gave our all. We always found a way. Promise we recall, care was coming not far away. We answered the call. The siren will soon break the silent night. The baby's born, but something's not quite right. The panic voice is shouting through the phone. Told them to hold on tight, you're not alone. Promise we recall, care was coming not
pages of that century are turning in our hands. We're sharing all the stories only those who've been there understand. We're counting every blessing and know the prices that we paid. All the calls that changed us in 100 different ways.
Coming not far away. You know we answered the call.
Dedicated to all those who have answered the call, we thank you.
First responder Sandy MacQuarrie responding to the publication of his book Answering the Call with the accompanying We Answered the Call, recorded with Australian folk singer Hayden Andrews. Valentine's Day, Islander Day, I'm holidayed out, so it's time to wrap up this here episode of iTunes, which I certainly hope entertained you. There's absolutely nothing stopping you from telling friends, family, and total strangers about the only podcast to play nothing but music from PEI artists. Therefore, I invite you to do just that. If you want to make it easier on yourself by joining up on the iTunes Facebook and Instagram pages and sharing the stuff I post, I'm not going to stop you. Oh, if you're listening on YouTube, you can sure help out by liking the app and hitting subscribe so you know when new apps go up. I'm to understand it makes the algorithm feel all tingly and whatnot. Who are we not to tantalize an algorithm? Direct comments, requests, and or suggestions to amj@isletunes.ca or leave a voicemail on 902-807-4250. The show could always use financial support to pay for distribution services and stuff like that, so if your budget allows, throw $5 at Patreon, where you'll get access to exclusive iTunes video content. There's also merch for you to merch up on, so bag that swag at iletunes.creator-spring.com. Musical contribution to the iTunes theme by Kaylin McCauley and John Hashem. Show concept by Rocky O'Neill. Coordination assistance by Jackie Robichaux. I'm Adam Michael James, and I gotta bring the metaphorical curtain down, but come back next week for the debut of a lady who calls herself a late bloomer, but is like the white-winged dove, sings a song, sounds like she's singing. The melodies of Melody Gypsy are what she and I will be talking about in the iTunes studios. In the meantime, there's still so much crazy crap happening out there, mostly to our south, but make no mistake that Canada can be infected by it. Now it's some swerve to trick people out of voting rights so Planet Cheeto can stay in power. That's why it's really important to stay vigilant and to remember the words of Dutch diplomat Gijs de Vries. Ultimately, freedom and democracy are stronger than fear and tyranny. You know it. Thanks for listening, PEI. Season 7.